Welcome back to V-Roll. We have that giveaway, the Pokemon 151 poster collection going out to one lucky winner. Still haven't decided on the other prizes, but I will be doing other prizes. All you need to do is like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Be a part of V-Roll. And for those of you who have already done so, thank you, and I appreciate you entering to win on this. If you don't know exactly how to enter to win, all you got to do is, after this video, go over to this video here. That's the one where you need to leave an additional comment, and that will be your entry into the giveaway. Even when I add other prizes, you'll already be entered into that giveaway in totality, because it'll be a prize pool for everybody. So right now, we got the poster collection. The other prizes, haven't decided yet. I'm thinking maybe I need to get some Surging Sparks going or something. But the goal is 4,000 subscribers, so let's get there and make it happen. Today, we are looking at graded cards and their price points, and I'm a little confused on how the market's working and maybe on where to go, so I'm going to lean on you a little bit today and hope that you can bring in some comments on some feedback as we go through this, because graded cards, while I've looked at them, I've paid a little bit of attention, I haven't really gone deep into the subject. So each week I'm trying to get a little taste for it and have a better understanding. And what better graded cards to be looking at than the ones that seem to be going insane right now, which is kind of the talk of the town, other than Surging Sparks selling out everywhere. The talk of the town seems to be Pokemon 151 is exploding. And there's a lot of debate if a reprint will come. I've had several comments saying, oh, there's no reprint coming, there's no way, Pokemon can't meet the demand. Other people saying there's definitely going to be a reprint. One comment in particular stood out. So let's dive in real quick here. They said it was, who was it? Scrappy Pat 5612. Look how much Crown Zenith we got and are still getting. 151 will be a lot more. I think people are having the Evolving Skies deja vu with 151. After initial release, people already got their fix, and it was on to the next new set, Paldean Fates. It came and went, and people were underwhelmed. 151 wasn't flying off shelves at the start of the year. Now people don't want to miss out on getting it at MSRP. So when they see it, they buy it up to rip, resell, or hold and keep sealed. Excellent observation, because there's a lot of truth to it. Maybe there was a speak to text. I had to do some filler words to make a little better sense of it, but we're all been there and we're all there, so no knock on you and anything like that. So if I filled in the wrong words, sorry. Just trying to make it a little bit cleaner statement so I can understand. The observation is Crown Zenith was the set, and there was even a comment further to this saying, yeah, but Crown Zenith or 151's a specialty set, and yes, Crown Zenith was also a specialty set. There was no booster box, so you could only get it through the different, what we would normally call ancillary products. And that had the same issue in 151 here, that is only the ancillary products, there's no booster box. So when people see it, yes, they grab it now for that fear of missing out. Well, it's a justified fear at this point in time. If it shows up at MSRP, it is a good grab. Whether you want to open it because you got it at a good price, whether you want to hold it long term because we see what people are willing to pay for it. Not that it's easy to unload some of these things, but there is a willingness out there. So if you want to get it and hold it long term, a good idea. If you want to resell and do play that game, I guess the reality is you can. My agreement here is, yes, it's a lot like Crown Zenith, because there was a big taste for it. People got excited about it, good pull rates, really great artworks, all of it happening. And we had some crazy numbers. The secret rare Pikachu was looking ridiculous when it first came out. And now it's a really inexpensive pickup for such a really beautiful card. So interesting to see this connection between Crown Zenith and 151, because why would Pokemon just walk away from Crown Zenith and say, yeah, you know, we did what we could, and it's all done? No, look at it now. They are stocked up on Pokemon Center website. There's a lot of different products that you can get at MSRP on Pokemon Center website. Then you have the Sea and Sky collection, and that's readily available in a lot of Sam's Clubs, I believe even still. You can do it online, you can go into the store, and you can get that box. 14 packs at $40, That's a great price. And if you look on TCG Player and others, you can see that the price per pack is coming down. You can see that those products are coming down in price. You can see that the singles, because it's so affordable to rip them, more are coming on the market. That price is coming down. And we will eventually see it all go back up, because it will dry up. People will stop opening it. People will stop reselling it for quite a bit. Stores and online shops won't be able to sell it because they'll fulfill all their allocations. Everything they've pre-purchased from their distributors will sell out. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And then we'll see it go back up. With Pokemon 151, the Pokemon Company would be foolish, and here's why I believe a reprint is definitely coming. I can't predict when, but it's definitely coming. It is inevitable. Pokemon Company would be foolish to pass up on the millions, yes, millions of dollars that they could collect by reprinting this set, rather than leaving it to the Wild West out here and having our own, FOMO desires coming in and using our worst judgment just to get that last bit of product, and having the secondary market compete for availability, compete for price. So I believe that this inflated price on the products and the cards is unrealistic, and it cannot last. Now, I am pretty confident in the reprint for the holidays. Theory, idea, concept. One, it would be extremely beneficial for the Pokemon Company, where Surging Sparks is the last one to come out, and there's nothing planned for December, for them to go ahead and insert 151 reprint in that time frame. It's going to meet up with the holidays. It's going to be the end of year. It's going to be another month going by where people need a little something, and this will be that kind of holding them over until we get to the Terrestrial Festival, or whatever the EV set is supposed to be called, and moving in that direction come January, February. I don't know the release date of that. But when that comes about, 151 will be kind of the nice little holdover, and people will go nuts for it. So if they are printing it, if they are packaging it, if they're getting it ready and getting on the move to distribute, it can move pretty quickly. And as long as they stock up annoyingly heavily, even if it tanks all the prices, I think the market would still be excited about it, because we're not going to care that the prices tank right now. We're going to be excited that the opportunity to be holding this in our hands again exists. And it will dry up. And then we'll see the prices start climbing up. Now, my problem is these prices don't make sense to be jumping up so much the way they are. Let's skip ahead here. The way Venusaur is climbing here. See, these prices aren't even realistic on these from what I've been seeing elsewhere. So let's get into it. Let's just back it up and get into it. We're looking at graded, but that side point of 151 and where the market's at, that's why 151 is being discussed over and over and over again. This is the hot topic. Surging Sparks is a hot topic. 151 is a hot topic. The market is got all the murmurs going on. Okay, there's a lot of whispers. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of finger pointing. People have been bashing me for this "I think a reprint's coming" idea. It's an opinion, people. Calm down. Everyone's got one. Mine's right. That's the only difference. No big deal. I'm just kidding. Mine's just another opinion. All right? So I'm trying to learn. I don't have all the answers. Just because I put it out on YouTube doesn't mean I have all the answers. I actually want to know things too. So that's where we get to the graded cards. The graded cards, I want to know things. I just took out kind of the top, I don't know, what do we got, 8, 9, something like that, cards out of the Pokemon 151. And then, yes, I do move into another set here, another card. I've won in the end with a lot of things I'd like to talk about. So maybe this video is going on longer than I'd like, so let's kind of speed it up here. These numbers don't add up or make sense to me, that these prices are going up so high. And if we look back, we're seeing that this is not really that far off from what it's been in the past. I mean, you can look back to about a year ago, a little bit more, a little less, I guess, because it's November. So a little less than a year ago, we had much higher prices. And that was after the release, right? So we had a higher price of like PSA 10 on the Squirtle going over 200. 9 was at 100. That spread kind of makes sense to me. And then you get to the ungraded at 25. This makes sense to me. 25 on the ungraded, 100 for the PSA 9. So there's some value in grading. Great, that makes sense. And then the PSA 10 being at 200, that spread makes sense. These don't make sense to me. $31 for an ungraded, $35 for a PSA 9, and then $160 on PSA 10. This doesn't add up in my mind, and maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe I got to do a lot more research and a lot more exposure to what this is. Also, price charting. I've looked at them. I kind of like what they have going on, but the prices do not reflect reality. I've been seeing way different prices out there in reality. If you get in front of it in a shop, if you're looking on eBay, if you're looking around scouring the internet, I'm not finding this card for $31, $36. I'm not finding the PSA 9 at $35. And I'm not finding the PSA 10 at $160. It's all way bigger than that. So does this lag behind? I mean, it'd have to be lagging by like a month for this to be realistic. I don't know. Alakazam, we have this coming down here. You got your FOMO prices, the people getting it out quick out of the gate there. And then we're coming in. I just don't know why the 9 and the ungraded start meeting one another, because I can't find where that's true in reality of your opportunity to purchase. Now, maybe I don't know where to look for graded cards. Maybe that's part of my problem. eBay does not reflect this. eBay, you see the 9s and the ungraded being pretty decent spread apart. You know, depending on the card, you have many dollars, not just a couple. You know, not a few. When you get into the Charizard EX full art, this is probably one of the more valuable full arts out there, as far as just a Pokemon full art in Modern, and it's all based on the Charizard tags. It's gotta be, you know? It's cool, but it's still just a Charizard full art. The alternate art or the special illustration rare is obviously a much higher sought after and a higher price, but it's very interesting to see how high up on the list this one comes in. What do we have? 3, 4, 5. There's 5 cards ahead of this. So this is the 6th card overall for pulls. This is inaccurate. I've been seeing it around like 40 now rather than 33. So again, very interesting. Charmander. Here we have that swing going up. We're following into that Charizard EX SIR. All right, following into that evolutionary line. That's what's pulling this Charmander up. 37 on the ungraded. Again, not quite what I've been seeing. PSA 9 for $4 more. I have not come across that yet, that it's that close between raw and the PSA 9 grade. PSA 10, way beyond. These spreads make more sense to me. This one is confusing. I get it. I get it. You get enough of them on the market, you're going to have a lot more PSA 9s than you're going to have 10s, so the spread should separate a little bit. However, it appears that there's no value, almost no value, from price charting at least, there's almost no value in going with a PSA 9 than it would be to go with an ungraded, so long as ungraded costs you less, and you could make the assessment that it could possibly be a PSA 10. And if you really want to take it that step, you can pay for that step and get the PSA 10. So while when I was first looking at this, it was like, well, it's a no-brainer. At these prices, go for a PSA 9. Because it's already graded. You're guaranteed to know that it fits in there. If you bought raw, pay for grading, could end up at a PSA 9. Okay, well, you should have just paid the couple dollars instead of the whole grading process and the time behind it for the possibility of a 10 when you may or may not know how well it will do. So I'm more understanding of the, it's guaranteed 10, fine, you're probably going to pay that premium. You don't know for sure, you got to have some practice, you have to have the eye for it, get a little bit seasoned in how you do this, and maybe some routine of practicing in grading process, doing it, you know, on a more regular basis to feel confident that what you're selecting would be a potential 10. And be okay with the fact that it comes back as a 9. So there's a little more gamble in that. So I kind of understand the don't go for raw when you can be set on a 9 and be okay with it, or don't go for raw in hopes that it'll be a 10 and be disappointed that it's not. So I'm getting a little bit more understanding of why buying the raw or just leaning into the PSA 9, you can have those internal battles of how you want to go about this. This isn't as bad here, where you're a little bit 3 times more from the 9 to the 10, so that's an easier one to justify, be more excited about. That spread being a little bit closer together back here, and then really far apart over here. So just, it's amazing how big of a difference the spread is over time. You know, I can understand them kind of meeting a little bit closer because more come onto the market. So in those early days, harder to get a 10, not as many out there. More 10s start showing up, you know, But again, more 9s show up, more raw cards show up. So everything should kind of trend down a little bit in price for the most part. If it's a highly sought after card, I get it. It'll climb up in price because of the want for it, the need for it, filling out a set or having that artwork added to your collection. Interesting to see and interesting to learn, because this is all just very, fish out of water experience. Looking at cards and their prices, seeing where it lands and how to shop for things, looking at sealed and talking about the investment side. That's all been a little bit easier for me for years of going into it and practicing it. This, I'm talking about weeks of just entering into it and just going from 1 week of why not just get to the 9? It's already graded, blah, 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 and understanding the risk of an ungraded to now being a little bit more sympathetic to I see why people would jump right to a 10. I get that. And buying the 9 is you're settling on that lesser quality, I think these last couple have a little bit more, of a spike up going. And this is just the whole FOMO that we're seeing across the board for availability right now, which is why Pokemon Company would be foolish to pass up on a reprint opportunity. And the comments I'm getting stating otherwise kind of give me the impression that, you know what, everybody's just got to take a breath. Take a step back, relax, Sometimes we get in our own heads and think, this is never going to work. I missed my opportunity. It's gone. If that's what you need to say to convince yourself for paying some of these prices, I get it. One person thought that I just did a complete rant because I didn't complete my own master set. That wasn't the point. The point was sit back, relax, wait a while, and it'll come back around. I think we have time. A reprint has not occurred yet, so let's be ready for a reprint coming. Charizard taken off, and everybody, oh my gosh, it's $600. That's not unrealistic. Even in the beginning, it didn't hit 600 on the earliest sales of it, and we got up to 660, a month after or so release there. So we have, I'm sorry, that might not be the beginning of it, but we have a higher point of 660 on the 10, and we're only just getting to that 600. Not only, when it was floating around 300, 330, that obviously would be a better time there. But everything's going up. You have 230 for the 9. You have 170 for the ungraded. And this is a little bit more realistic from what I've been seeing in the world. An example of this here, of what's realistic, what's not. The Pikachu with gray felt hat. Sore subject for me, if I'm being honest. I, like many people, was ready. I was counting down the minutes when this stuff was going to release. I had a plan of what products I was going to buy. I had the backup plan of what products I would buy should those others be unavailable. I had a plan of I will take anything in these products with a limit of this many dollars just to make sure I get a promo or two. And from the talk of the town, the different YouTubers out there, we're not experts. We're not experts because it was these things are printed into oblivion. They have so many of these copies. There's going to be no shortage of this. No reason to freak out. They launched, everything sold out. About as fast as I just said it. Because I was there. Add to cart, go, check out. Just get one in there and check out. Get one in there and check out. And go. Nothing. Everything was crashing. Couldn't do it. People were having problems left and right. They opened this up at the actual museum in Amsterdam, I believe it was, and just a swarm of people destroyed that store, grabbing any product they could just to get their promos. All of it. It was a total mess. And I really wanted this card, like a lot of people. I just was drawn to it. I have an art background. I had a different appreciation for this particular card because it has other connections than just Pokemon or Pikachu or being a promo. The Van Gogh specifically aspect of it was a big draw to me. Now it says 110 for ungraded, 111 on PSA 9. These do not add up or make sense. They don't. Because I've been looking at this and I've been interested in it. So let's take a look here just at the PSA 9 level. Recent sales here. Recent sales. 139, 140, 145, 145, 140. Like we are in this 135 to 145 range. Kind of all over the place here. This one's ungraded, 130. And just so you know, these are sold listings. If there were a line through it for like a best offer, we wouldn't know exactly what it sold for, but we see that 130 or best offer, somebody jumped in on the 130, or they negotiated and got to that point anyways. 120, okay, that's a little better, but we're looking several days back here, and we're still not quite in this range here of 111 of what price charting is saying. So I don't know if I'm getting a lot of trust in this. Are there other places to look for graded cards and their track record and where you can go? Are there other good, solid resources? Because this is considered a really solid resource. So I'm not bashing them. I'm just trying to get familiar and understand. If we look into just the raw card, which is actually hard to find on some recent sold listings because there's so many fakes out there, people don't want to risk it. They'd like to go into a graded. There's been some authentication done. All right. 100. Hey, there we go. Plus the $6 shipping. But this was back in August. If we look back in August here, it should have been, 95, but it went for 100. 93, and it went for 100. Okay, plus the shipping. Okay, so we're still inflated. We're still inflated on that. Let's see if we can find another raw card here. Raw out of the packaging there, 100. Once you take off that little sleeve there, that's going to bring the price down, unless you're going to be going right into a grading situation and, the slab is going to be your new sleeve, right? Once you go into that brings the price down. Having it in that package does make a difference. So another case to be made there. 130 and $26 shipping. Yeesh. All right. So we're at like 156 right here when it should be 111, 110, something like that. Little bit wild. A little bit wild. Do we have another one here? 120. Looks like it's pulled out of the packaging there, and it's at 120. And these are sold listings. So I don't know where these prices are coming from because 1 ton doesn't make sense. It's not adding up. 120 seems to be the lowest for really recent, and it's opened for an ungraded raw copy. All right. We have on TCG Player a near mint coming out at 145. Is that our lowest listing? Look at this. Look at this. Wow. That's insane. We were at like 90, 95, somewhere there, and it's just shot up really recently. So it seems like this is a really bad time to buy because there are a lot of listings. So I'm not interested in picking this. I wasn't interested in picking this up for that kind of price anyways because of the fact that it should have been available. Pokemon Company should have done a better job. A bunch of them they sent out were destroyed in shipping. Ugh, it was just a mess. And the community was upset about it. They really were. And I was definitely part of that. 145 is our lowest there. I think I had one that actually shows a picture. Okay, so you can verify it's going to come wrapped like that. But you're going to pay a premium, 150 for it. I don't see the 110. What's going on? So if you know more about price charting and how this track goes, if you know elsewhere to look at recent sales of graded cards and get a better feel for the community, or better yet, if you know where I can look to be looking for purchasing graded cards, maybe eBay is not the only place to go. Maybe there's better options out there. I'll digress from all that because I'm just trying to learn that. How about we just shift gears and give you something nice? Give you some 151. We've been beating this dead horse, all right? It's been pretty crazy lately, but I want you to have this, all right? The poster collection from 151 going out to one lucky winner. All you got to do is like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell because I post 7 days a week. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.